Welcome to the HR Champions podcast. And for today's episode, we are joined by Miss Nei Garong. Miss Nei is the Talent Acquisition Manager at Generica Drugstore. So, thank you so much, Miss Nei, for saying yes to this invitation. And we are really excited to have you here.
Thank you.
Okay, so Miss Nay, before I jump into my questions, can you share our audience like a brief summary of your career in HR?
Okay, I started in HR around uh around 2003, and I started actually as a recruitment associate in the BPO industry. I applied for an agent role, but then because I came from the academe, so I have experience conducting psychometric exams. So I was a guidance counselor before I transitioned to HR. So I applied for an agent role, but then when they interviewed me and then I underwent the recruitment process, so basically, they saw that I have my experience in the guidance office doing testing. So they hired me as a recruitment associate slash psychometrician. So I was in charge. So this is the startup of the BPO industry, so mga 2003,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had a very short stint there as an HR or as part of recruitment, and then also worked as a call center agent. And then later on, I got, you know, being a call center agent is not my career. I can see, I saw myself that I won't last in that industry. It's not me receiving calls and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So there came an opportunity to apply in a manpower agency. So it's like a recruitment firm. So I applied there as their recruitment associate phone screener. So this company is exclusively doing was exclusively doing recruitment for the BPO industry. So back then, purely voice call center. So I applied there as a recruitment associate phone screener. And then same thing, I did phone screening, I did testing, I administered exams. And then from there, I rose from the ranks. So I became a recruitment officer and then was given several responsibilities until I reached the position of HR assistant manager or human resources outsourcing assistant manager. So that's the peak of my career there. So again, we're doing a recruitment process for the BPO companies. And then after that, I transferred to another retail company naman. And this one is in Pasay. So that's where I had my experience as a recruitment manager. So after that, I decided that I wanted to explore other facets of HR. So not just recruitment. So I went back to my former company and then I worked there as an HR generalist. And then after 4 years, I transferred to another company. Although I have this idea of pursuing a career as an HR generalist, it seems to be that my career path is not being a generalist. So I returned to recruitment, but this one with a bigger responsibility because it's talent acquisition. So end-to-end recruitment plus onboarding up to regularization of employees. Up until then, I'm involved with the overall talent acquisition process even with my current role. So that's my recruitment or talent acquisition journey. So it's
Yeah.
quite long. It's more than 10 years already.
Ang
And I'm
galing,
happy to
galing.
say that I'm still here doing recruitment or talent acquisition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. Thank you for sharing, ma'am. Actually, I can relate you in what you mentioned kanina when it comes to sa call center because I also have a brief stint sa call center. And talagang hindi gano'n kadali and talagang
Yes.
iba. Iba yung ano na was talagang may kausap ka pa lang, nakikita mo na may susunod na natawag. So, I have talagang high respect to call center employees and
Correct,
talagang
correct,
hindi
correct.
madali yung ginagawa nila.
It's not easy.
Mm.
Oo.
Okay. Sige, ma'am. For a decade or at least a decade, you're in the recruitment, ano pala, ma'am, no? Talent acquisition. So,
Yes.
what inspired you, ma'am, to pursue a career in human resources? Kasi, di ba, iba-iba, some of my guests,
Mm.
hindi naman talaga nila plan mag-HR. It just happened na parang pinili sila. And then,
Mm.
eventually, they love HR. So, sa'yo, ma'am, what's the story? What inspired you or what push you to pursue a career in the HR space?
I don't think there's ano, I think it's similar with what you told kanina. I didn't have really an idea that I will pursue a career in HR and talent
Talaga?
acquisition.
Mhm.
Remember, as I mentioned, I was working in the academe. I was actually starting my master's in guidance and counseling. But then, syempre, you spoke with your classmates and then they told me, mas maganda ang career sa industrial psychology because
Mhm.
the pay is higher compared in the academe. So, and since the industry, BPO industry was starting back then, so that's why I tried my opportunity to apply. And I did expect that I will stay long in this career. As I
Talaga?
mentioned, as I mentioned kanina, I tried transitioning to be an HR generalist. But then an opportunity came and I have to transition back to talent acquisition. So, alam mo yon, it's not really my ano, if you ask me if it's my plan, actually no. I never expected that I will pursue this career. To make another point, I took up physical therapy before. I reached up to fifth year and then parang since something happened kasi in my family. So after studying PT, I stopped for several years. And then when I returned, all my classmates are already graduating. So parang I don't have the passion anymore to pursue PT. So I told my mom that I will take another course. So my plan naman to take was BS education. But
Mhm.
then when I went to my school, they told me that if I will take up BS education, I have to retake most of the courses or the subjects. So they told me that the best option is BS psychology. So I took up BS
Hmm,
psychology for less than 2 years.
okey.
And then after that, I never expected also to work, in the HR field. So talagang parang God planned everything for me. I had no intention. I didn't create any plan or vision board to be in this career. But here I am after several years. And it is where I had my longest stint so far. So talagang career na siya. Na-build ko na talaga yung career ko in line with HR.
Okay. So, yeah, moving on, Miss Nay, on my next question. What's the biggest challenge you had as an HR leader?
Siguro it's leading a team. I think for every leader, leading a team, aside from the day-to-day activities, goals, and targets that you need to achieve, balancing the relationship between you, your team, and then your leaders. So that's very difficult for me and I think for other leaders also, because we're very unique. All of us are unique. We have our own personalities, and every day we have a different point of view. Even for instructions given to us, we have a different understanding. No, it's not the same, or it's not
Yes.
in the same context. Eh. You give me an instruction. I have a different point of view.
Interpretation,
Yes, interpretation. Another person also has a different perspective. So you have to balance on how to relate to, to people. Especially nowadays, most of the younger people, they have a different perspective, they have different culture coming from their own background. So you really have to adjust as a leader. And of course, you can't please everybody. 'di
Mm.
ba? We can't please
Yes.
everybody. At times you think that you're in good terms with someone, but then at the end of the day, iba pala yung perspective niya. So balancing the relationship and at the same time achieving your goals together with your differences, I think that's very important.
Agree on what you said, ma'am. Talagang if you're in a team na very diverse yung personality, 'di ba?
Mm-mm.
Especially
Yes,
especially if you're an HR kasi let's say if you're dealing with a boss na I'm not sure kung if it applies to Rayomar. Siyempre nandiyan papasok yung cultural differences kapag yung boss mo is a foreigner, 'di
definitely.
ba? So
Yes,
iba-iba.
yes.
Iba-iba
Iba-iba.
yung limits, iba-iba yung again personality. So you have to try a different approach to get your message across, 'di ba?
Mm.
Mm.
Not just nationality but more of sa differences in terms of age difference. Iba ang
Gap.
Gen Z,
Mm.
iba
Mm.
ang Generation X, 'di ba? Iba ang millennials, yung mga ganon. Iba-ibang approach.
Yes. Okay, ma'am. Which will lead to my next question. So,
Okay.
yung yung generation gap. Kasi I always ask this to my guests. Kung how they balance yung working with the different generations. Kasi you have this baby boomers who are working. Talagang
Mhm.
work lang yung gusto because they have to support a family, may mga dependents. And then come this new younger generation of employees who are parang ang after nila is growth, experience. Well, syempre of course, the compensation is talagang ano naman. Pero hindi na compared before na ang pinaka main objective is to earn. Now, younger generation of workers want experience, want growth, 'di ba? So may gap. So as an HR leader,
Yes.
how where do you strike the balance on how you deal with siguro what's the term? Iba-iba yung needs nila, 'di ba? Iba yung how you
Mm.
treat this set of new employees kasi eto rin yung mga employees na sad to say medyo entitled, 'di ba?
Ay, correct,
'Di ba?
correct.
Compared
Yes.
sa mga veterans natin or sa mga ano na ang daling kausap, talagang if you let them if you ask them to do this, they will do, 'di ba? Pero
Mm.
ngayon talagang gano'n yun nga, sadly may mga entitled na employees na parang 3 months pa lang sa work parang tingin nila hindi na sila na-appreciate. And then in the end magku-quit, they will jump into another company. So as an HR, how do you deal with that generation gap?
I think it would involve no organizational development kasi you really have to address it at the root cause. You can't just come up with programs or initiatives simply because in terms of demographics nakita mo Gen Z to or
Mhm,
boomers ito. Ito na kaagad yung programs na
mhm.
i-implement natin, no? You really have to understand their needs. Kaya
Yes.
it involves learning who they are, what are their needs, and you as an employer, what can you offer to address these concerns? Kasi if you don't have that, then definitely you have to come up with strategies for you to address it. Kasi if you found the reason how to, give what they need, but you're not addressing it, then definitely aalis din yan. So
Agree.
you really have to get to know them. You have to understand their needs and what are they looking for. So if they're looking for skills improvement, dapat it's in your developmental plans, di ba? If they're looking for, good compensation, then you really have to study you have to do salary benchmarking, you have to understand what you can offer, and where do you want also to put your company in terms of the salary. Kasi at the end of the day, for me, for all employees, lahat naman tayo we're looking at our compensation eh. And what else, no? What's in it for me? So if
Yes.
I work for this company, what will I gain in return? Because part of talent acquisition, it's our responsibility, 'di ba, to sell the opportunities at the company. Kasi mahirap na we're selling or we're hiring for people, but then mahina naman yung employer namin in terms of providing the needs of the employees. So definitely, kahit ma-entice namin sila to apply, to be employed in our company, if the company can't provide what they're looking for at the end, then they will definitely leave. People, when they are on their probationary period, while you are assessing their performance, they are also assessing you as their employer.
Mhm.
So it works two ways. So you have to understand, siguro for me, before you start hiring for people, you have to establish your benefits, you have
Yeah.
to establish your developmental programs, you have to establish a lot of things. Maski facilities ngayon, very important for
Mm.
employees, di ba?
Yes,
We
yes.
have heard that a simple bidet is very important for
Mm.
the Gen Z. So talagang tinitignan siya. So really have to, assess our what we can offer to these people, 'di ba?
Mm.
Kasi 'pag nakita mo parang sa 'pag nagbebenta ka ng car, 'di ba? Kaya yung mga BPO companies, they have very nice offices, eh. Kasi,
Mhm.
that's to create an impression to these people. So, I think ayun nga, going back to what I've said, is you really have to study and come up with strategies and plans to really entice these people and make them stay also, 'di ba?
Yes, I can relate,
Mm.
ma'am, dun sa sinabi mo na bidet kasi may nakita akong meme sa LinkedIn na
Oo.
instead of going all through all this, giving employees all these perks, tapos may bidet lang na naka-picture dun,
Oo.
'di ba?
Oo,
Naalala ko bigla.
nagulat nga din kami na narinig namin yung news na yun. Pero hindi ko sure kung it came from a study talaga or it's
A
they're
survey
saying
or
every day, oo.
mhm,
Hindi ko alam, but then it's a good information, 'di ba? It's not really the big things that will make people stay, but provide what they need. So it's
mhm.
more on the need talaga of the people.
Yes, yes, I agree on that, Miss Nay. Ito, ma'am, yung next question ko is actually on, I'm not sure if correct yung term ko, on the opposite side of your role as talent acquisition. Kasi there's a recent study wherein um, ang pinaka-challenge for HR teams nowadays is talent retention.
Correct.
So, I have figures here, ma'am. So, yung tatlong challenges are, una is recruitment at 13%, employee engagement at 16.9, employee retention at 23%. So, parang survey to, ma'am, na alin yung pinaka challenging na roles or task for HR, which is surprisingly, at least nung una ko nakita 'to, employee retention. Kasi I thought talent acquisition yung pinakamahirap kasi everybody else is offering this to employees to attract them.
Correct.
So, yun yung
Mm.
una kong ano, pero surprise ako, talent retention pala. So, retaining them. So,
Mm.
I want to hear your thoughts on why is it that talent retention is the most challenging part for HR teams. I understand, ma'am, you're into talent acquisition, 'di ba? But
Yes.
I want to know your take pagdating sa
We're
talent.
actually affected with the issues when it comes to talent, to employee retention, because once an employer resigns, that becomes our responsibility or problem naman under recruitment or talent acquisition. I
Mhm.
think nowadays, if we're looking at this time, I think it has something to do with the pandemic pa naman.
Mhm.
Kasi we've experienced work from home opportunities, no? So we worked from home before, and then nowadays people are returning na to their offices. Eh. I've seen several companies advising their employees to return. So that can be a factor why people are leaving their organizations, because there are several opportunities out there wherein they can work from home. And then, in na din naman ngayon ang mga freelancers or what's the term for that? Yung mga gigs na they
Sidelines
can,
hustle, side
yes,
hustle.
mga puzzles, oo.
Mhm.
So that's very in being a virtual assistant or handling two projects at a time. So, you can't help but, allow these people to grow. Kasi nga, parang what I've heard lang is that the salary for freelancers are, there's flexibility, una in their time, flexibility in their time,
Mhm.
and at the same time, they're, um, getting the pay that they're eyeing for. Very competitive ang mga tao ngayon eh.
Yes.
If you look at recruitment, the salary expectations of the fresh graduates na lang is very different from years before.
Mhm.
They have this confidence that they need to have this salary right now. So ayun ang kanilang aspiration, which, you can't blame them because everything is, very expensive nowadays. So I think the companies are having a hard time retaining these people. That's why they are leaving. And at the same time, probably there are, missed opportunities for these people, especially skills development.
Mhm.
That's very important. When it comes to benefits naman, well, that's very subjective when we say benefits because iba-iba naman bawat employer. We can say
Yes.
na pare-pareho ang benefits nila, di ba? Other companies, they have good benefits. Other companies naman, they can't offer the same. So it's very subjective na sabihin natin it's because of the benefits. Kasi from the onset naman, you are laid down with the benefits of the company.
Mhm.
During recruitment, we have the
Yes.
job offer stage. So we have the negotiation stage. So definitely, alam mo yung pinapasukan mo and
Mhm.
then you accepted it. So I don't think that we should just blame the benefits, no? But it's the what you can do for them once they are inside. What are your programs? Kapag probationary, anong programs mo sa kanila? On their first year, what are your programs? So dapat you have to, kaya kasama yung employee engagement because you have
Mhm.
to engage these people. Once you engage them, definitely yung retention kasama nun, 'di ba?
Yes.
Pero if you have limited engagement activities, limited retention programs, then I think talagang aalis si employee. Kailangan makita kasi ni new hire. I speak for the new hires palagi.
Yes,
Kasi
ma'am.
that's where the battle starts yung probationary period. That's when we observe everything. uh,
Mm.
as a new hire, they observe everything. They can see a lot of things. And the problem, sometimes there are comparisons. Doon sa dati
Yeah.
kong company, ganito, doon sa dati kong company. Even smallest details, makikita nila yan. For
Mhm.
example, mas maayos yung printer ko namin before. Dito yung printer, ganyan. O kaya, ay,
Oo.
yung canteen namin, ganito, ganyan.
Mm.
You can hear a lot of things from the new hires. Kaya you really have to convince them that you are the best employer for them
Mhm.
once they are inside. And habang tumatagal sila, dapat na i-strengthen yon. So the support for their growth financially, support for their families, support for their needs for growth, dapat ma-establish yon under retention programs and employee engagement activities. So dapat well-balanced lahat-lahat ng
Yes.
programs natin to address the needs of these people. Kasi nga, di ba sabi natin kanina, there's a generation gap. Iba
Mhm.
ang needs na namin ng ah, Generation X ako. So iba ang needs namin, iba ang needs ng Gen Z, iba ang needs ng millennials. So the programs should be patterned. If you are doing an analysis of your demographics, the programs should be patterned based on the needs of the people.
Yeah.
Kaya umiikot-ikot lang naman siya doon sa ano na yun mga aspeto na yun But
Mm.
it's a big work for me, and of course, it needs investment. You have to invest to your people,
Yes.
'di
Agree,
ba?
agree, Miss Nick. Let's talk about technology naman, about AI.
Hmm.
How would you, kasi 'di ba, AI is something that has immense potential and will really
Yes.
have this very big and profound impact. Actually, kahit anong industry na eh, di ba? So how do you see technology and AI being a tool that HR can capitalize to improve yung mga processes sa company?
I think if you ask HR, they definitely say that, AI is very important. Digital transformation is very important in all aspect of the companies.
Mhm.
If right now you're still not in that direction, I think later on baka mawala ang business mo
Mm.
because that's the flow of things now. That's how things are. And we can't go away with we can't just be doing like this, and other companies are already at the forefront of digital transformation. So, and it's very important in HR since we're managing a lot of data, a lot of information, a lot of papers, 'di ba? So that's very important. Kaya for me 100% na kailangan mag-transition ang HR, and most all companies sa digital tools. So kung hindi pa, yon kawawa tayo.
Talagang
Maiiwan lahat.
yes, yun, may iwan ka. And then
Maiiwan ka.
eventually
Lahat
talaga
mawawala sa'yo.
oo, talagang
Mm.
magiging dependent na or I think heavily dependent but not completely dependent if I'm not ano, 'di ba? Talagang again, for the HR before, 'di ba, ang recruitment, tatawagan mo si applicant tapos pupuntahin mo sa office, face-to-face interview. That was before. Pero ngayon with Zoom, with Gmeet,
Yes.
talagang ano na, 'di ba? And I think yun nga, HR should really adapt with the changes because it's
Mm.
really a time saver, 'di ba? And time is if not the most valuable one of the most valuable asset ni company. And they should take
Mhm.
advantage of technology talaga, 'di ba?
Oo, oo.
Mm.
'Pag hindi, ay talagang mawawala ka.
Oo, maiiwan ka na.
Oo, mapapagod din naman ang tao, eh. I mean, the people in the organization, if there's no change in terms of technology,
Mhm.
I think mapapagod din ang tao.
Mm.
And again,
Yes.
comparison comes in. Hindi siya
Ah,
mawawala.
yes, yes. Okay. Ito ma'am, my next question is, for you, Miss Nay, what are the top 3 skills that an HR practitioner should have, not just to survive, but also to thrive in the HR space? So, top 3 skills and why?
First, for me, probably communication. Because when you are in HR, you have to convey a lot of information. You have to speak to a lot of people, whether skilled worker yan, or the professionals or the C level. You really have to be able to connect with all of them. And communication is very important. If not, nako, medyo mapag-iiwanan si HR practitioner if there's difficulty in communication, both, of course, oral at saka written.
Mhm.
And of course, the second skill, I would say, is analytics in
Mm.
terms of understanding your own data and building an interpretation. Kasi if you don't understand what's going on or where you are in terms of the data that you have, then you won't grow as an HR. You won't come up with programs. You won't be able to come up with big decisions. You won't be able to come up with recommendations because
Yes.
part of HR is understanding the people, understanding what's going on. And we know naman in all facets of HR, there's number eh. Akala namin
Yes.
before when we were studying psychology, ay okay ito, walang number.
Walang math.
Walang math.
Ah,
Tapos just understanding the personality of people.
mm.
Pero when you are in HR, kailangan mo talaga business-minded ka. iba ang perspective niya. So I think that's going to be my third is the business acumen.
Mhm.
Kasi you have to understand your business, you have to understand your enterprise, you have to understand what's happening, what's going on, and then connect everything para maging successful HR person ka. Lagi nilang sinasabi, 'di ba, HR should earn a seat in the execom level.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
very important na maintindihan mo what's going on, where the business is going, what is the direction of management, what is the KPIs of the business. You have to understand the, nitty-gritty of the business operations. So
Mhm.
you're not just dealing with people kasi you're also dealing with the business. Kasi kung hindi
Yes.
din naman mag-earn si company, I think we don't have, an HR work to begin with. Kasi wala
Mhm.
naman tao, 'di ba? Wala namang
Yes.
business eh. So wala din naman talaga, umuwi ka na lang. So understanding the business is really very important. For us, talent acquisition, we can't sell the company if we don't understand the business,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
we don't understand what's going on. So we
definitely.
really need to be, at the forefront of understanding our own companies. Kasi para you can own it eh. You can speak freely about your business, and you can discuss it to anybody. Kaya very important sa akin yung business acumen. And then yung sinabi ko kanina, communication, and
Mhm.
then analytics.
Analytics.
Ayun. Yes, yan
Yes.
ang top 3 ko.
Mm. Can't agree more, Miss Nay. It also
Mm.
shows kung paano nag-evolve si HR. Kasi 'di ba, eto personally ma'am, before kasi 'di ba, when you say HR, very transactional eh. Na
Oo.
kung magka-file ka ng leave, kay HR. Magka-file ka ng ganito, kuha ka ng records kay HR, 'di ba? But now, especially when it comes to analytics, you mentioned, decisions should be data-driven, 'di ba?
Correct.
So, paano
Oo.
ka magpe-present ng program kay management kung hindi mo naiintindihan yung data that you get from your employees? So, it's
Oo.
really very important for HR people to develop that skills, analytics, and
Mm.
also yung business acumen. Yung sinabi mo ma'am kanina that you can't sell the company if you don't know. Talagang I agree on that. Because how are you
Mm.
going to get the talents that your company needs if you don't know what's going on? Ano ba yung business ni company, right?
Yes,
Ayun.
oo.
Ganun.
Recruitment is sales to be for me, recruitment is sales for me. Kasi I work,
Mm.
as mentioned kanina, no, I worked in a recruitment firm. So for us, we were taught to embrace that for every people that we process, it
Ah,
is converted into business. Kaya business
yes.
talaga. So
Oo.
recruitment is really sales for me. Hindi lang
Mm.
yung very transaction na pre-process ko, kasi kailangan ng manpower, but then you convert it always to ROI. And kasi for every
Yes.
manpower naman, it involves din naman, corresponding amount sa employer. And malaki yung losses na nawawala sa company kapag hindi natin nabibigay yung needed person.
Mm.
Kaya very critical siya.
Yes. Agree yan, Miss Nay. Okay. Sige, moving on, ma'am. Ito, ma'am, yung next question ko, very timely. Not sure if have you heard the term parang resignation fever during Q4?
Ah, yes, I heard that na.
'Di
It's
ba?
happening
Kasi
now.
'di ba, it's the time of the
Oo,
year wherein yung mga empleyado, they're just waiting for the bonus, for the 13th month and for
correct.
other fringe benefits. Pero beneath that is naka-ready na yung resignation. 'Di ba? Parang they have this mindset na come January or February, I have a fresh start on my career. 'Di ba? Ako, I find it in a way logical na to get all those kasi entitled ka naman for that, 'di ba? Being an employee. But in your ano ma'am, in your perspective, why do you think nandun pa rin yung trend for that Q4 resignation?
People are looking for growth. I can't be an HR associate for more than 2 years, di ba? Ibabalik ako sa
Mhm.
needs eh. As we grow old, nagta-transition din yung needs natin. It's not the same. Kung ano yung need ko ngayon, it doesn't mean it's going to be the same need that I have in the future. So, depending on, my experiences talaga or my needs. Kaya, I think kailangan talagang maintindihan natin what will, satisfy these employees, these people based on their need. Kasi malay mo, later una, dalaga yan or binata. And then, later on, nagkaroon ng responsibilities. So, iba na
Mhm.
yung need niya, di ba?
Yes.
Iba na yung plans niya. So, if we can't address that, then talagang aalis yung tao. What if may pamilya siya? For example, sa benefits, may HMO ka, pero hindi covered yung family niya, principal lang. So,
Mm.
si employee lang. So, definitely maghahanap siya ng opportunity that can address his needs or her needs, 'di ba? So, gano'n na nangyayari. So, hangga't hindi mo mabibigay 'yun sa employee, magkakaroon talaga ng resignation. And we can't help it, not unless you're the best company that can offer everything.
Mm. Is it something na evident din kay Rayomar?
I think for most companies naman, asahan mo 'yan na basta nakuha na yung bonuses,
Mm.
13th month, maghahanap 'yan ng
Hmm.
bagong opportunity. Lalo na ngayon yung mga nag-work during the pandemic, sa mga companies nila kasi pandemic time, we can't resign, 'di ba? Kahit gusto mong mag-resign, kahit may burnout ka, hindi ka
Mhm.
magre-resign sa employer mo because you are blessed to have, you know, work during the pandemic. Pero with the situation now, doors are opening again. So,
Mm.
employees naman would like to explore, 'di ba? Para
Yes.
naman makita nila what's outside. Kasi baka may hinahanap naman sila na, na iba, na bago, or
Something
they
new.
just want change, oo, something new, gano'n
Mm.
'yon.
I
So,
see.
dapat si employer may new din na maibibigay.
Mm. Pero when it comes to curious lang, when it comes to planning, is that something na kino-consider din ni HR to address na Q4 Q4 we should come up with something new to address yung this potential concern that we have.
I think dapat, kasi 'di ba during budget season, if it's a
Mm.
trend, again, if you have the data, then makikita mo na kaagad. Coming
Yes.
from the data, makikita mo na kung ano yung history niyo. So consistent siya, let's say 3 years, consistent during this months, or let's say November, last quarter, nag-aalisan yung mga tao. Alam naman
Mm.
natin sa recruitment na December is parang talagang mahina ang recruitment, and we know
Oo.
that comes January and February, basta
Up na
first
ulit.
quarter malakas ang recruitment. Kaya alam na natin that it's a trend. So if you are a conscious employer, or even if you have, a conscious HR leader, dapat makikita niya yon. And then they should come up already during the budget season with strategies to address this issue. Kasi pag hindi mo pa yun nakita, may trend na nga, then,
Mm.
parang may dapat i-improve. So, data is very important.
Important.
Papasok yung data. Mm-mm.
Yes, yes. Well said, Miss Nay. Okay, eto yung next question ko, natap na natin kanina to in lightly when it comes to social media. Kasi before,
Mm.
di ba, ang social media primarily being used by companies to do sales and marketing. Pero as time progress and ginagamit na rin siya to promote culture, 'di ba? To recognize
Correct.
employees, 'di ba? And yung mga CSR activities ni company. So, as an HR, and what do you think will be the role of HR sa social media ni company? Do you share your inputs or insights kay marketing or kay corpcom on ito yung i-upload
Mm.
natin? So in your case, ma'am, or in your experience, what's your take on that?
I think yes, there should be a collaboration between HR and marketing in terms of what should we release sa social media. And kung ano yung highlights na gusto natin. Kasi if it's just HR, that's too big of a burden kay
Mm,
HR. So
yes.
dapat there's a partner kasi HR naman is not a marketing person eh. Magkaiba yun eh. Iba ang perspective ng marketing iba ang perspective ng HR. But we have to marry HR and marketing for us to develop, for us to improve the culture and share our culture to the public. So, 'di ba? We will be judged for whatever we post. Gano'n naman yun, eh. We can't help it. Kahit naman sa personal social media natin, we are being judged by others by what we post, 'di ba? So,
Mm.
gano'n din lalo na yon kapag you are a brand and you have to
Yes.
showcase the culture of the company. Kasi 'pag nakita yan ng tao and then nakita nila that, you empower your employees, that you have this type of culture, you allow diversity, you promote CSR activities, that will help the public to get to know you as an employer. And it's very important. And marketing should help us in that aspect. Kasi if the burden is with HR lang, gaya ng sinabi ko, mahirap. And if the burden is with marketing lang, syempre hindi naman sila HR person, di ba?
Mm.
Para makita ko ano yung dapat i-convey. So, there should be a balance between HR. So, talagang team up siya. It's a partnership collaboration between marketing and HR. So, good for companies na meron silang marketing. Kasi
Mm.
there are companies na weak ang marketing or in the sense wala silang marketing. So these HR leaders, kahit gusto nila, they don't know how to start. So they should be guided. And I think the policies should be in place before we post, before we click anything. We have to come up with policies and guidelines para we are protected, we are also protecting the company, and we protect our employers. Hindi lang post ng post, 'di ba? Kasi
Yes.
kailangan maayos, malinis, and it conveys the right message para ma-receive siya ng tamang audience. Kasi if it's, a junk post, then definitely hindi maganda yung
Mm.
appreciation ng tao. So dapat you have to study it before you post. Parang nangyari, I think, noon, nakikita ko yung ibang mga Facebook pages ng other companies and hindi maayos. And
Mm.
then titignan mo now, makikita mo they transition from a magulo type of posting, and then later on makikita mo, nag-grow na 'to, nag-develop na, maganda na
Yes.
yung posting nila, very professional.
Professional.
Oo, very
Mm.
organized. Tapos makikita mo ang linis. And they were able to convey their culture, their values, di ba?
Mm.
And makikita mo din yun sa mga employees nila. And nakikita mo din yung mga programs nila with what they post. Kaya very critical siya as of now. For me, very important ang social media and coordination with marketing.
Yes. Especially for recruitment, di ba?
Oo
Kasi it's
naman, naku, the more applicants or the more people who likes our
post.
pages,
Mm.
oo, mas masaya 'yon, 'di ba? Hindi mahirap mag-hire for us. Word of mouth na 'yun, eh. And
Mm.
then mag-announce lang kami ng mga recruitment activities namin. I think mas tataas ang traction namin when it comes to to applicants. Very
Mm.
important naman na 'yan ngayon, eh. Given
Mm.
na 'yan sa talent acquisition.
Yes, yes. Do you still participate sa mga job fairs?
Oo naman, you can't, hindi lang puwedeng social media, or
Talaga?
digital recruitment marketings.
Mm.
Hindi, eh. Depende din siguro sa type of business. Kasi may iba talaga na business na mas nagta-thrive sila kapag social media lang ang gamit nila. But there are businesses pa din naman na they need to do traditional recruitment marketing and then the digital recruitment marketing. Para din hindi naman lahat ng tao nasa social media.
Social media, yeah.
Oo, depende din 'yan sa type of employees or the people that you have. So you have to understand muna, ano ba yung klase ng manpower ko, 'di ba?
Mm.
Doon mo din naman maiintindihan 'yan, kung ano yung program na dapat mong i-recommend for recruitment marketing. And then kung kailangan mo talagang lumabas, kailangan mo lumabas. That's recruitment, hindi ka puwedeng nasa loob lang. or meron dapat group na doing digital marketing, and then may group naman still on the traditional para you
Mm.
capture a bigger market. So
Mm.
recruitment is a lot of work, talent acquisition is a lot of work. Kaya
Mm.
nakikita mo in some companies, yan ang pinakamalaking manpower nila when it comes to
To
HR,
HR.
sa talent
Mm.
acquisition. Malaki yan lalo na sa sourcing. Very critical ang sourcing when it comes to talent acquisition. Kaya for me, it's very important na you have people to do these tasks. Hindi lang nakaupo or doing digital recruitment or virtual job fairs lang. Dapat meron pa din sa traditional.
Yeah, agree, ma'am. Talaga nandun pa rin yung yung old
Hindi
school
siya
way of
mawawala. Oo,
oo.
hindi naman siya I mean, sometimes we go back to the basic, eh. Ay, nasa
Yeah,
school pa din
basics
pala yung
'yun.
mga tao, 'di
Oo.
ba? We have to hindi natin siya puwedeng iwanan agad-agad.
Yes. Yes. Eto ma'am, eto na-touch na rin natin but still I want to ask. So, kasi 'di ba ngayon, that global war for talent. Kasi hindi lang local companies yung nagko-compete sa Filipino talents, 'di ba? Kasi anywhere, 'di ba? In the world, pwede mag-recruit ng talents by working
Oo.
remotely. So, how is your company adapting to this challenge?
Um Work from anywhere ang trend ngayon, eh. Hindi nga lang work from home, eh. Others kasi
Mm.
work from home, you have to be at home
Oo.
working. You can't go out pa din. Work from anywhere wherein they can, parang you're on vacation, but at the
Oo.
same time, you're working. You're enjoying your job, and at the same time, later on, nagre-relax ka na, 'di ba? So,
Oo.
yun yung nakikita kong trend, eh. It's not just work from home, but work from
Anywhere.
anywhere. Oo,
Mm.
para kahit nasa coffee shop ka, parang yung generation ngayon, they need to socialize. At the same time, they need to to enjoy life, eh. Work and enjoy life at the same time. Kaya parang lagi ko naririnig yung work-life balance. Very important ang work-life balance. So, for companies to address that, they have to come up with programs naman talaga.
Mhm.
But they have to check din, ano yung nature ng business. Hindi naman kasi lahat ng business can transition agad-agad sa work from home
Yes.
or work anywhere. What if my business is a warehousing, 'di ba?
Mm.
Hindi naman ako pwedeng mag-pick and pack at home, 'di
Oo.
ba? Dapat
Yes,
nasa
yes.
operations ako. So, limited din. Again, depende sa business kung sino yung pwedeng mag-work from home. Not all then in the company can work from home kasi meron pa din dapat maiwan sa corporate, 'di ba?
Yes.
So,
Mm.
dapat mabalance lahat 'yon. Hindi tayo transition agad. I've seen companies na they have schedule for work from home, and then they have schedule naman wherein these employees, they need to report pa din on a weekly basis sa offices. So, ang sa global market naman, medyo malaking kalaban yan. Hindi lang isang company ang dapat, I mean, it should be a bigger resolution, not just one entity. Kasi, for example, nurses natin, di ba?
Mm.
They have opportunities abroad. And if you convert naman din yung salaries nila, we can't offer it talaga naman sa Philippines, eh.
Yeah.
So, not unless we address those bigger issues, I think we can retain our employees here or our manpower in the Philippines. So, it needs a bigger resolution. Um, pero pag sa mga companies naman, we have to come up with programs din. Yun
Mm.
lang, you really have to study your business, your manpower.
Mm. Yes, I agree. Yung actually ano mo sa nurses, actually I have one HR manager na in an hospital na parang they have embraced the reality that yung mga nurses nila, they will not stay
Aalis
with
na
us. Oh,
aalis.
they will not stay with us siguro 2-3 years at max. And then
Oo.
eventually they will go abroad for greener pastures. So they have again embraced that reality. So ang ano na lang nila is to plan na maybe we can offer something for their families na pwedeng i-extend sa families, and in that way we hope na we can make them stay longer, 'di ba? So yun yung na-share niya sa akin, which is na, well, sad but true, 'di ba? So sana
Mm.
talagang magkaroon ng better opportunities yung mga nurses natin here sa Philippines.
And then yung mga BPO companies din, to add up lang din, they offer good opportunities also eh. Itong mga healthcare programs,
Yes.
mga BPOs, maganda din yung opportunities nila compared to a regular job locally.
Mm.
So, yung 9 to 5, mas gugustuhin nilang mag-work sa BPO wherein the salary is, much higher
Mm.
compared sa ibang companies. Kaya,
Yeah.
competition within the Philippines and then competition abroad. So, medyo, ayan, talagang may war for talent.
Mm.
May the best employer wins.
Win. Oo. Eto ma'am,
Oo.
what do you think will be the eto ma'am, very general na 'to, So what do you think will be the timely and useful benefit that a company
Mm.
can roll out to improve yung engagement and retention rates nila for their employees?
Sa akin nakikita ko, parang sa healthcare,
Help.
very important ang healthcare benefit. And then, if you have continuing education program,
Mhm.
maganda din yon as a benefit. Ano pa ba? Well, kung may bonus ka naman, iba naman yung monetized masyado yun, no?
Mm.
Um, Health and wellness siguro, yan talaga. Health and
Mm.
wellness, and then sa skills development.
Yes. Oo,
Those
importante
are
yun.
very important, 'di ba? Kasi may iba, for example, 10 years na sila sa position nila,
Mm.
parang nakakaawa naman na
Oo.
walang career progression. So we have to help our employees naman to achieve growth in the company. Hindi lang forever na ganyan yung role,
Yes,
'di
yes.
ba?
Oo, actually ma'am, yung isa ko ring guest, naging example 'yan. So kailangan talaga ng skills development and career growth. Kasi yun nga, ang example naman niya, parang clerk ka na for 5 years. So
Oo,
may parang yung term niya is may moral obligation si employer
to help you.
to help that employee, 'di ba? You should upgrade her skills. Tapos kapag may skills na 'yan, definitely you can, 'di ba? You can parang ano ba 'to? You can give or a higher or a role na may mas magiging ano siya. He can,
Challenging
yeah,
for the
challenging.
person.
Yeah. Tapos, so magagamit niya yung skills. So, yun nga, yun yung term niya na hindi ko malilimutan, that moral obligation to give that employee a chance to have the career growth that she deserves. Being a loyal, 'di ba? Being a loyal employee. Ayun.
Correct, oo. Hindi mo puwedeng pabayaan na lang 'yan. Parang anak mo din 'yan, eh, if you
Mm.
look at it that way. Siyempre kailangan tulungan mo yung anak mo mag-grow, 'di ba? Hindi mo lang siya pababayaan na ganyan. So, the employer should help the employee talaga. Kasi win-win situation naman 'yan, eh. If you help your employees, then definitely naman the employee will do their jobs better. So,
Yes.
you will get more business kapag maayos
Mm.
ang employee mo.
Yes, yes, agree. Yun nga, 'di ba yung quote ni Richard Branson, take care of your
Hmm.
employees and your employees
They
will
will
take care
take
of the business, 'di ba?
oo,
Okay.
totoo din naman yun.
Mm. Eto ma'am, I'm down to my last question. So, so for our audience or people out there who are eager to pursue a career in HR, what will be your best advice for them?
Keep on studying kasi you should not just finish a degree in human resources or in psychology to be a good HR practitioner, but you really have to equip yourself with the skills. Now, the problem for some people, they just wait for their employers to, give that benefit or to
Hmm.
give that opportunity. We should not be waiting for our employers to offer opportunities, but we should be seeking opportunities on our own. We
Yeah.
should be, we shouldn't stop studying and then learning what you need to learn and understanding, of course, the company, the market, kasi it's very important to understand what's out there and help yourself also. So for me, learning is very important, whether formal learning yan or informal. Lalo na ngayon, there are a lot of online courses, di ba? So, I think we shouldn't stop studying kapag HR practitioner ka. So, very important yon. And kahit na matanda ka na, no? Even if you are, kasi nagbago na yung generation eh, di ba?
Mm.
Hindi na katulad before. So, even if we're already in our late 40s or 50s, dapat ini-equip mo pa din yung sarili mo to understand HR. Kasi nag-i-evolve naman ang HR. Hindi siya, kung ano yung HR nung 1950s or 60s is the
Yes.
same now. So you
Oo.
really have to study. Ayan.
Yeah. Agree. And it's a continuous learning process. Actually, di lang sa career
Yes.
naman in life, eh, di ba?
Oo,
It's
oo.
nice. Well said, Miss Nee. Actually, that's my last question. Pero before I let you go, di ba? So familiar ka ba ma'am sa fast talk?
Ay, boy, abunda ito.
Yes. Pero of course, HR ano naman, HR or office related
Topic.
questions naman. So a
Okay,
set
sige.
of questions, so two options, just give me your answer. Wala namang right or wrong or no need to explain. Okay. So my
Okay.
first question. Work from home or on-site?
Work from home.
Hmm. Presenter or part of the audience?
Presenter.
Nice. Windows or Mac?
I'm sorry, Windows or?
Mac.
Mac. Mac.
Mac. Okay. Sa pantry, microwave or ref?
Ref.
Talaga. Okay.
Uh,
So, uniform or dress down?
Dress down.
Siyempre. Recruitment or training?
Recruitment. Talaga,
Ah,
nandun na ako.
okay. Company outing or Christmas party?
Outing, company outing.
Hmm. Empathy or competency?
Empathy.
Calendar or email?
Calendar.
Hmm. And last, Facebook or LinkedIn?
LinkedIn.
Okay, that's all. Okay, thank you so much, Miss
Thank
Nay, for
you.
taking part of this podcast. I really learned a lot. So for siguro may mga ano tayo, may mga listeners tayo or audience who wants to connect with you. What's the best
Okay.
way?
They can connect via LinkedIn. So just look for Nay. And then I can share naman my personal email if
Mm,
it's okay. Pero LinkedIn na lang. They can connect via
sige.
LinkedIn.
Okay lang ba ma'am? I-share ko dito sa screen yung profile mo
Yeah,
or
sure. Oo.
okay, sige. I can
Oo.
edit naman or I can put your LinkedIn page so para they
Oo,
can reach
sige.
out to you.
Oo naman. No, I like people connecting via LinkedIn. I
Mhm.
can help you look for a job. If you're exploring, definitely I will look for an opportunity for you.
Okay. Sige. Again, thank you so much, Miss Nay, for taking time. And this has been your
Okay.
HR Champions podcast. See you on our next episode.
Thank you.